Jack and Jellify, created by Cary and Michael, host the show Battle for Dream Island, which is split into 5 seasons. And today we're going to be talking about the first season, simply titled Battle for Dream Island. In episode 1A, it starts with a bunch of the characters basically yapping about each other, but it does set up who they are and their relations to each other, so I'm gonna quickly go through it. At the start, we see Match and Pencil talking crud about Flower, and recalling when Flower asked Ice Cube if she looked beautiful. Ice Cube said no and got kicked. Present day, Ice Cube still remembers this and has a grudge from that event, and starts yapping, which annoys Pencil. And then Ice Cube accidentally pops Bubble, who respawns in the BRC. Then Blocky, holding Pin, almost pops Bubble, and then Pin then kicks themselves away. And then Blocky throws Needle. Yeah, Blocky is a bit destructive right now. After Woody lands, Leafy tells him to calm down, and he does, but Teardrop gets annoyed and kicks him. Tennis Ball then tells Teardrop to calm down. Anyways, Woody, who is scared of everything, nearly misses Snowball and lands on Rocky and starts screeching, annoying Eraser and Pen, and those two are friends. Snowball then hits a mountain and then throws Rocky, who ends up hitting Tennis Ball. Anyways, Coiny and Fiery start to argue on top of Spongy, and Golf Ball tells them to stop and tells Spongy to take a bath. This causes Blocky and Eraser to talk about how bossy Golf Ball is.
I'd do anything to get away from her, or Flower, or Woody, or Spongy.
Well, then you're in luck.
This is where the show picks up. This announcer character talks about Dream Island and how amazing it is, but that there can only be one winner who can decide who goes. So they settle this in a contest. They're all placed at a bar, and whoever stays on the longest is the winner. Leafy wants them to help each other, and Pin agrees. Meanwhile, Spongy just randomly falls off. Flower wants more space and starts pushing people off. Leafy is falling, but Pin helps her back up. Then Bubble, Pencil, and Match form an alliance. Ice Cube wants to join and starts running towards them, which knocks Pencil off, and then eventually everyone. Yeah, Ice Cube didn't make the alliance. Coiny is trying to wake Blocky up, but this causes this to happen, and Blocky accidentally knocks him off. Leafy and Pin charge to attack the evil Flower, but she kicks them away, leading to them hitting Teardrop, causing this situation. Blocky is trying to pull him up, but to no avail. Then Flower comes over, and Blocky knocks her off, but she grabs onto the group. However, Pin licks her, and she falls off. Everyone else gets back up, but Leafy accidentally steps on Blocky, who falls. Teardrop then starts attacking Rocky, who falls too. Leafy and Pin are the last two remaining, and argue a little bit on who should win, as only one person can win, but the announcer says that actually both can win. But they didn't win the whole event, they just get to choose their teams. Which is exactly what we see in the next episode, 1B. Leafy picks Ice Cube, and he rants about Pencil not letting her be on their team. Hearing this, Pin chooses Pencil. Back to Leafy, she chooses Teardrop, who doesn't talk. Flower then picks on her, saying how dumb she is, that she can't talk, and even wants Snowball to beat her up because he's the strong one, which he refuses to do. Yet Flower is making everyone annoyed with her, except Blocky, who seems to agree. Anyways, Pin then chooses Bubble, Leafy chooses Needle, and because Pin's team has Bubble and Pencil already, they choose Match because of their trio alliance. Anyways, Needle wants Snowball.
Ooh, they're in love. No, Blocky. I like Coiny more.
Snowball takes offense to this. Pin then chooses Pen, Leafy's group then chooses Coiny, while Match in Pin's group chooses Fiery. But Pin, the group leader, didn't really approve of this, so they fight. Leafy then chooses Tennis Ball for the smarts, and Pin can't decide who to pick next, saying that they are all pretty bad, and starts listing why. But then finally chooses Eraser. Leafy's group chooses Golf Ball, Eraser and Pen in Pin's group pick Blocky, who is their friend. Match is annoyed. In Leafy's team, Tennis Ball says that Flower would be annoying to deal with as an enemy, so they choose her for their team. Pin's team then adds Spongy to the group. Leafy chooses Rocky, leaving Woody to go with Pin's team. The announcer wants them to choose their team names, but they can't really decide, so the announcer does. Pin's team is the Squishy Cherries, and Leafy's team is the Squashy Grapes. Anyways, the first challenge is to build a boat and sail to the finish, and the losing team will have a member eliminated. Golf Ball has a plan to use a motor, but the group ignores. Snowball tells her that the plan is confusing, and after some back and forth with insults, Snowball gets mad and knocks Golf Ball off a cliff. The rest freak out, sending Rocky flying into the air, hitting Snowball off the cliff too. Meanwhile, the Squishy Cherries are building their boat when Eraser steps on a nail. Back to the Squashy Grapes, they are building their boat while Flower is bossing everyone around. Back to the other team, Match, Pen, and Pencil are being used as oars. The Squashy Grapes then set sail and kind of forget about most of their teammates. The Squishy Cherries, meanwhile, have a leak in their boat. Blocky, well, blocks it off, but then gets bit and flies into the mouth of this sea creature fish. Pencil then becomes the new plug. The other team is flying at high speeds and launches over the other team's boat. But this causes the Squishy Cherries boat to crack. The Squashy Grapes boat, meanwhile, flies so far that it passes the finish line and the entire island, basically. This island is not Dream Island, by the way. This island is just for the contest. Anyways, the Squishy Cherries boat is starting to sink, so they remove some weight by throwing Spongy overboard. They're almost at the finish line, but their boat breaks. We then see the others that were left behind on top of Spongy. Leafy, Ice Cube, and Coiny are running back while the others are swimming towards the goal. A storm then starts and swoops Leafy away. Ice Cube then starts sliding and reaches the ribbon, but cannot tear through. Pin then reaches it and tears it in half. The Squishy Cherries won. This means that one of the members of the Squashy Grapes needs to be eliminated, and this is chosen by the audience. At the start of episode 2, Pin is given a win token because she was the one who broke the ribbon. Win tokens basically can be used to where if you think you're going to be voted off and out of the game, you can use the win token and it will cut your votes in half. Anyways, on to Cake at Stake, which is the elimination segment. The rest are grabbed and gathered there. The announcer then explains that if you're given a slice of cake, you're safe. But there's only enough cake for everyone but one. The one without it is eliminated and treated with TLC. Anyways, the announcer starts showing who is safe. Flower is getting irritated that she hasn't gotten the cake yet and threatens to crush the announcer with this machine.
Well, too bad for me, because Golf Ball is safe at 1 vote, and you, Flower, are out.
Yeah, Flower is not happy and activates the machine, but it hits Golf Ball, cracks, and explodes, sending Flower away. Golf Ball then starts mathematically yapping about her chances of winning going up. Golf Ball might be a nerd. Anyways, the competition is to race along an obstacle course and at the end, fill their tank with more water. But they're given only an hour to accomplish this. Also, the first individual to finish the course gets a win token. Oh, and because Team Cherry is missing a team member, Blocky, because he got eaten by the fish, they need to find them before the hour is up or else they lose. But the announcer doesn't wait for them and the competition starts, with Team Grapes running ahead, but most of Team Cherry goes to find Blocky. Pin orders Pencil to help find Blocky, so the alliance waits for her. Anyway, Snowball gets pushed into this failure area. Pencil finds the fish creature that ate Blocky, and Needle meanwhile runs over this button which starts a wall to rise. Oh, and by the way, Blocky is back and explains that he did not fall into the fish's stomach and it completely missed him. But now Pencil gets caught. Back to the wall, Pink gets stuck, and then Tennis Ball knocks Golf Ball over. Cutting to this rock climbing segment, contestants are starting to get hit off. Back here, the fish gets distracted as Flower is still flying through the air. Anyways, Fiery is now in the lead, and he presses this button which starts a wall to go downward. Anyways, Leafy and Ice Cube make it to this go down ride thingy. I don't know. When Leafy shows Ice Cube how a bowling ball falls at the same rate. But then we then cut away to a program interruption of Blocky talking about how to torture Ice Cube, basically. It's a whole thing, basically a commercial in the middle of the show. Anyways, cutting to Leafy, she falls into the failures room. Now the majority of Team Cherry is on their way, but then some of them fall. And yeah, there is a bunch that happens from this wall snapping, Fiery punching, and Needle making it to the area where you need to find a needle in the haystack. But Needle scans herself and gets the win token. Fiery then gets an idea and burns the hay away. Again, it is chaotic and a lot is happening, but at the end, the Squishy Grapes win the contest. In episode 3, we see the losing team, the Squishy Cherries, in Cake at Stake. The announcer asks if Pin wants to use her win token. She says no, as she says that she has never been mean and that there's no reason that she should get any votes. But then the montage plays showing just how wrong that statement was. Anyways, Spongy gets the most votes and is eliminated, being launched away. Getting to the challenge, it's about knowledge. The gang is taking a test. Oh, and we also see an Ice Cube Recovery Center creator in process. Back to take the test, some are struggling to say the least, and Woody is panicking, leading to Pin kicking them. Anyway, we see the test answers and Blocky steals them. Tennis Ball is ranting to Rocky about him not being able to write, so Rocky gets mad and kicks Tennis Ball, and now he can't stop rolling. Meanwhile, Snowball snaps his pen, leading to a piece-popping bubble. Anyways, we then get this scene.
Needy, do you think non-existent Icy is mad at me?
Don't call me Needy!
This is a reoccurring thing by Needy. I mean, Needle.
Oh, wow!
Woody finally hits the ground, creating a hole which Coiny falls into. Blocky then shows off the test answer thingy and gives a bit too strong of a high five. Pencil and Match are playing around when Match accidentally starts a fire, which Tennis Ball rolls into. He lands into the hole and Pin starts to push him down even more. The Ice Cube Recovery Center is finally complete and Ice Cube is made, but Blocky continually uses her to get out the fire. Anyways, Bubble and Pencil and Match have a miscommunication, and now Pencil thinks that Bubble can't count to 3 and thinks Bubble is dumb. Anyways, the fire is still alive and spreads more, but then it starts to rain, and yeah, Fiery leaves. Anyways, Pencil rips Bubble's test cause she's dumb, I guess, and Snowball rips his in frustration. The results are in, and Squishy Cherries have 20 points more in total, but then the announcer realizes that the answer sheet is gone. He then finds the culprits, Blocky and Pin. So he removes the points, now meaning that the Squishy Grapes have 20 more points, and Golf Ball, who scored the highest, gets a win token. At the start of episode 4, Leafy apologizes to Ice Cube, but Ice Cube still wants revenge. Anyways, onto Cake at Stake. Pin doesn't want to use her win token once again. So the votes are revealed and Blocky is eliminated, much to Pen's dismay. Anyways, the challenge this time is to bake a cake. The announcer will be one judge, Flower, an eliminated player, will be the second judge, and this die is the third. And so the contest begins. Match and Pencil still think Bubble is dumb, by the way. Anyway, Snowball is mad about there being no recipes to follow, leading him to throw dirt, which lands into Golf Ball's batter. Meanwhile, Tennis Ball made a rice cake. Cutting to Leafy, she is making a giant cake to lend to others if they need help. Pen and Eraser want some, but they must tip $5 and are short on money. Snowball accidentally then murders Ice Cube and destroys the recovery center, so another has to be created. Bubble has now proven she's not dumb to matching pencil, by the way. Anyways, Pen and Eraser are only 1 cent short, so they literally use coiny. 30 minutes are left and Bubble, Pencil, and Match haven't even started yet, so they buy from Leafy. Woody is also given some of Leafy's cake. Now it's time for judging. There's quite a lot that happens, but the announcer does get tired of all the strawberry cake because Leafy has lended it out a lot. He also doesn't like golf balls because he tastes dirt, and the judging goes on. After that's done, Pin has the most points, probably because of her flour cake. And overall, the cherries win. Now there's a second contest, which is to eat chocolate balls the fastest. The contest commences and the grapes win, meaning a tiebreaker needs to take place, which is literally to see who can break a tie the first. Get it? Snowball rips it first and the grapes win. Oh, and Needle's rice cake has expanded so large that it became a planet. On to episode 5, Needle's cake is huge. Leafy then calls Needle needy, which she hates, and she slaps Leafy. But Leafy strikes her back, sending her into the stratosphere and popping the planet. Well, that was something. Now it's time for cake at stake. Pin, once again, doesn't want to use her win token because she thinks she'll get no votes. Anyways, Woody has the most votes and is eliminated, being sent to the TLC, which we learn is the tiny loser chamber. Anyways, this episode's challenge is to cross a bridge. Eraser pushes Bubble onto the bridge. Snowball, meanwhile, remembers how annoying Golf Ball is and throws Rocky at her, which misses and hits the bridge, causing it to fall apart. Now Bubble is falling and Pencil and Match jump after her. Anyways, for the contestants, it turns out they're in luck as there's another bridge. Ice Cube no longer wants revenge on Leafy, so they are friends again and form a team with Needle. Snowball finally catches Golf Ball, throws her, and hits Ice Cube, Leafy, and Needle. Tennis Ball calls him out, so Snowball removes the second bridge and eliminates Tennis Ball. Pen tries to cross the rope of the first bridge, but it turns out it's just bendy straws and Pen falls. The announcer realizes that the challenge has become impossible, so he calls for a tiebreaker, and Snowball breaks the tie and grapes win. On to episode 6, it's time for cake at stake for Team Cherry once again.
This is your 4th time here. Getting used to it?
Just get on with it.
Oh, and Pin, of course, refuses to use a win token once again because of her ego. But Pin, this time around, gets the most votes and is eliminated. Anyways, for the next challenge, the teams will be temporarily split into sub-teams. The cherries become 2 teams of 3, while the grapes become 3 teams of 3. And for the challenge itself, they need to get to 3 islands in sequence. No one of them is not Dream Island. Ice Cube, Pencil, and Match are crossing the bridge to get to the first island, but Snowball and Rocky leave Golf Ball behind and barge through them along with Ice Cube, causing them all to fall. But the Alliance adapts and decides to swim to the first island. Back to the bridge, the announcer says that Snowball needs to swim back and get his teammate Golf Ball. Snowball is annoyed, but eventually obliges. Anyways, Tennis Ball, Teardrop, and Leafy are first and now have to do this.
On Island 1 there are 30 or so safes. Each safe's combo is written on its bottom. 5 of the safes have the rafts and paddles that teams will need in order to get to Island 2.
So they get started. Needle and Coiny arrive but are missing Ice Cube. The Alliance then arrives. Anyways, Fiery falls off into the water and Eraser and Pen now have to go back and turn on the Fiery Recovery Center and must wait for it. Meanwhile, everyone is opening safes to not much success. But Coiny's team has some luck and is now in the lead. Snowball's team has all their teammates now and also has some luck along with Leafy's team. Coiny's team has made it to Island 2 where
Island 2 has 10 keys hanging from poles. Teams will climb up building blocks to snatch a key and move on.
So they start to build. Anyways, Fiery is finally back. The Alliance, meanwhile, is not having luck.
Wait, Match.
Back to Island 2, Coiny's team gets the first key and is off. The Alliance finally gets a raft, leaving the team in last place in the dust. Anyways, Island 3 is reached and
on Island 3 there's a building with a locked door. The key that the team snatched from Island 2 might unlock the door. However, only 5 of the 10 keys unlock the door. If the key doesn't work, the team must go back and snatch another key.
No, it doesn't work.
Anyways, Pen, Fiery, and Eraser are on their way to Island 2, but the Alliance forgot Pencil and turns around and eventually finds her. There's a bunch of key grabbing and testing / failing, but eventually Eraser, Pen, and Fiery unlock the door with the right key. They're first inside and each get a win token. Leafy's team then gets second, while the others are neck and neck. The Alliance is third, and Coiny's team opens the door, but Snowball's team barges through them and gets fourth, meaning Coiny's team is in last, and one needs to be eliminated. In episode 7, Coiny, Needle, and Ice Cube are sent to Cake at Stake. Needle has a win token and decides to use it. Ice Cube is revealed to be safe, so now it's down to Coiny or Needle. Needle is revealed to have the most votes, but since the win token was used, the votes are cut in half. But she still has the most votes, meaning that Needle is out. She's sent to the TLC, but it won't close all the way, because the maximum capacity is 6 and Spongy is kind of big. So the announcer explains,
in the next contest, this contest's winning team chooses a contestant from the contest's losing team to be on their team, so no one gets sent to the TLC.
Anyways, Anyways, on to the actual challenge. The announcer locks the contestants in a room, and to leave/win, they must finish their team's jigsaw puzzle. Team Grape starts, and so does Team Cherry, but they don't realize that their pieces are actually upside down. Team Grapes then finishes, but before they can leave, they must choose someone on Team Cherry's to be on their team. They have a little vote, and eventually Fiery is chosen, much to Coiny's dismay. Quick intermission: if you're enjoying this video and like content about stuff on YouTube, then consider pulling a needle and slapping that subscribe button. It really helps out. Anyways, on to episode 8. There's no voting this time, so there's no cake at stake. The contest for this episode is a relay race. Golfball points out that Team Grapes has a lot more members and that this is unfair, so after some brainstorming, they decide to have 4 members of Team Grapes not participate, and the announcer uses a spinning wheel to see which will race. After some spinning, Fiery, Rocky, Ice Cube, Leafy, and Golfball are chosen, leaving Snowball mad because he wanted to race. Anyways, the announcer explains that the race is to touch the tree and get back whilst carrying the next runner. He also says that once again there is no elimination, but instead there will be a prize. Anyways, the race commences and the teams are off. Team Cherry makes it back first, but Fiery has to carry Ice Cube, who melts. Team Cherry is on the roll, but Ice Cube has recovered and Team Grapes is back in this. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Team Cherry laps Team Grapes, but runs into an issue when Bubble gets accidentally popped, and the Bubble Recovery Center is really far away. Team Grapes is making a comeback when Rocky pukes on Golfball, messing her up. Bubble then makes it back. Meanwhile, it's now just Rocky who needs to run to the tree and back. Team Cherry is now neck and neck with Team Grapes. Bubble is the last one, and Golfball kicks Rocky, who pops Bubble and is now walking back. But Bubble recovers and starts to run back. Golfball is impatient and runs over and kicks Rocky to the end, leading to Team Grapes' victory. So what's Team Grapes' prize? They will get an eliminated player back into their team, voted in by the audience. Anyways, in episode 9, cake at stake is held for an eliminated player to be brought back and join Team Grapes, along with getting a win token. Woody is revealed to have the least votes and is thrown back into the TLC. Leafy points out how it looks bigger, and the announcer reveals that he enlarged it, so it can hold more people. After some more eliminations, it's down to Needle and Blocky, and the winner is Blocky, so Needle is then sent back. Anyways, Team Grapes has exactly 2 times the amount of members than Team Cherry, so the announcer permanently splits the team into 2, having Leafy and Rocky choose the teams. Leafy chooses Ice Cube, and now it's time for Rocky, but Tennis Ball explains that he forgot how to talk, so he picks members by puking on them. Tennis Ball joins the team, yay! Leafy chooses Teardrop, and Tennis Ball chooses Golf Ball because they are a duo. Snowball is then chosen for Leafy's team, and Tennis Ball chooses Coiny. Finally, Snowball suggests adding Blocky because they are friends, and that's done, leaving Fiery to join Rocky's team, which annoys Coiny. Now onto team names. Leafy likes the Squashy Grapes, so they continue to use that. But Fiery also wants to be called the Squashy Grapes, so Golf Ball explains,
No, our name has to be another name.
So then your team is another name.
Wait,
Let's go through our current teams. Squishy Cherries, Squashy Grapes, and another name.
Anyways, the losing team of this challenge will have 2 players eliminated, and the winning team can choose one of those people. As for the actual contest, it's a 6-legged race. The race begins, including the tying up process. The Cherries are in the lead. Team Another Name and Team Grapes are taking forever, and Snowball is getting impatient. Leafy asks him to help, so he quote-unquote helps by tying them up into a ball. Team Another is struggling, but they're on their way, while Team Grapes isn't doing so hot, to say the least. Bubble then starts yapping about how they're in first when Team Another takes the lead. Now they have to cross a tightrope. Fiery is afraid of heights. His screaming alerts Team Cherries, and they make a mad dash. Now both are running at top speed when Rocky pukes, tripping Team Another, leading to Team Cherries' win. Team Another Name finishes second, and Team Grapes is the losing team. In episode 10, it's time for Cake at Stake in a brand new refurbished sitting area. Blocky is asked if he wants to use his win token and refuses. The segment starts and Ice Cube is revealed to be safe, along with Blocky. Now it's Leafy, Teardrop, and Snowball, and the last person safe is Leafy, meaning Teardrop and Snowball are the losers. So remember, Team Cherries gets to choose one of these losers. The team starts voting and keeps going back and forth on who to choose until it's all tied up and down to Pencil. Pencil says that Snowball won contest 4 and 5 and picks him. Teardrop is then sent to the TLC. Now onto the actual challenge. It's a crying contest. Which team can cry the most? The challenge commences and the teams are really bad at it. Blocky eventually decides to grab Fiery and melts Ice Cube. Time's up and the announcer says,
Since you all got some water, I guess it's a tie.
No fair.
The tiebreaker is a skiing contest, but they could only afford one ski for each team. So the race commences and all teams are off. But Rocky is in the path and hits Team Another, causing them to turn into a snowball. This happens to Team Cherries as well, causing the same outcome. Team Grapes actually manages to jump over Rocky. Anyways, they're all neck and neck, and a snowball passes the finish line with then Team Grapes and then another snowball. Both snowballs then crash together, and it's unknown whether Team Cherries or Team Another won. So another tiebreaker is needed. This one is a handstanding contest. The challenge starts and Team Another immediately goes into chaos and they all fall out. Rocky then vomits over to the other team, causing them all to fall except for Eraser, so he gets a win token. But yeah, Team Cherries was the winners. On to episode 11, it's time for Cake at Stake, and just like the previous episode, the 2 losers will be eliminated, but one of them will join the winning team. Fiery and Golf Ball have win tokens, and Golf Ball uses it while Fiery does not. Rocky and Golf Ball are then revealed to be the 2 losers. Yep, even with the win token, Golf Ball still lost. Now it's time for Team Cherries to choose one of them, and most of them don't like Golf Ball, so they choose Rocky. Golf Ball is now officially eliminated. Anyways, all 3 teams climb some stairs, but Tennis Ball accidentally falls off. Once at the top, the announcer explains the challenge. They all put on balloons, and the last team floating wins. But to make it harder, there's also a bucket of nails. The challenge commences, and there's chaos with nails being thrown around and balloons being popped. Fiery eventually falls as well and ignites a bomb character, Bommy, at the ground. Back in the sky, Leafy does some crazy moves, and then Ice Cube is eliminated. Coiny then loses and was the last teammate in Team Another Name. Along with Coiny, the bucket of nails falls, and it falls onto Bommy. Anyways, after some more popping, Team Grapes wins the challenge. And that is around halfway through BFDI Season 1. And that's where I'm going to end off this video. Make sure you subscribe for part 2, as that should be coming out in 2 weeks. Oh, and YouTube thinks you'll like this video on my channel, so maybe go ahead and check it out.